It appears there is an oversight in the National Electrical Code, specifically concerning the placement of disconnects. Section 230.70. A2 explicitly prohibits the installation of service disconnects within bathrooms. However, Section 225.32, which addresses building main disconnects, does not contain a similar prohibition, even though building main disconnects share many characteristics with service disconnects. The question arises whether this is an unintentional omission within the code. The intent behind prohibiting service disconnects in bathrooms, as stated in 230.70. A2 seems to be rooted in safety concerns, aiming to prevent electrical hazards in areas prone to moisture and limited space. Since building main disconnects function similarly to service disconnects, it logically follows that the same safety considerations should apply to them. Therefore, the absence of a corresponding restriction in 225.32 for building main disconnects appears inconsistent with the code's overall intent. One plausible explanation for this discrepancy is the historical evolution of the National Electrical Code itself. The 2005 National Electrical Code marked a turning point by introducing the requirement for service disconnects to be located outside of bathrooms. Prior to this edition, it was not uncommon for service disconnects to be placed inside bathrooms, and the code lacked specific regulations against this practice. It's conceivable that the drafters of the 2005 National Electrical Code, while addressing the issue of service disconnects, inadvertently overlooked the need to extend the same restriction to building main disconnects. It's a possibility that this detail simply escaped their attention during the revision process. Another possible explanation is that the code drafters deliberately omitted a similar requirement for building main disconnects. Several factors might have influenced this decision. Firstly, building main disconnects are typically installed in locations that are not readily accessible to the general public, restricting exposure to potential hazards. Secondly, building main disconnects are often larger in size compared to service disconnects, which may limit their placement options and make it difficult to accommodate them in the same locations. However, regardless of the underlying reasons for this apparent oversight, the overarching objective of the National Electrical Code is to ensure electrical safety. Consequently, it's reasonable to interpret the code's intent as discouraging the installation of both service disconnects and building main disconnects in bathrooms. In light of this interpretation, it is advisable to locate building main disconnects outside of bathrooms, even though the National Electrical Code may not explicitly mandate it. The application of the National Electrical Code can involve interpretations of its specific rules, regulations, and definitions. Firstly, an appliance's utilization equipment, generally other than industrial, normally built in a standardized size or type and installed or connected as a unit to perform one or more functions such as clothes washing, air conditioning, food mixing, deep frying, and so forth. Secondly, a branch circuit is the circuit conductors between the final overcurrent device protecting the circuit and the outlet or outlets. Thirdly, a building is a structure that stands alone or that is cut off from another structure by firewalls with all openings therein protected by approved fire doors. Fourthly, conductors are bare or covered wires, cables, or other forms of electrical pathway used to carry current from one point in a circuit to another. Fifthly, a controller is a device or group of devices that serves to govern, in some predetermined manner, the electric power delivered to the apparatus to which it is connected. Sixthly, a disconnecting means is a device, group of devices, or other means by which the conductors of a circuit can be disconnected from their source of supply. Seventhly, equipment is a general term including material, fittings, devices, appliances, luminaires, apparatus, and the like used as a part of, or in connection with, an electrical installation. Eighthly, feeder are all circuit conductors between the service equipment, the source of a separately derived system, or other power supply source, and the final branch circuit overcurrent device. Ninthly, ground is a conducting connection, whether intentional or accidental, between an electrical circuit or equipment and the earth, or to some conducting body that serves in place of the earth. Tenthly, grounded means connected to earth or to some conducting body that serves in place of the earth. 11thly, a grounding conductor is a conductor used to connect equipment or the grounded circuit of a wiring system to a grounding electrode or electrodes. 12thly, a location. Damp is a location subject to moderate degrees of moisture. 13thly, a location. Dry is a location not normally subject to dampness or wetness. 14thly, a location. Wet is a location in which liquids are freely dripping or running. 15thly, an overcurrent is any current in excess of the rated current of equipment or the ampacity of a conductor. It may result from overload, short circuit, or ground fault. 16thly, service is the conductors and equipment for delivering electric power from the serving utility to the wiring system of the premises served. 17thly, service equipment is the necessary equipment, usually consisting of a circuit breakers or switches and fuses and their accessories connected to the load end of service conductors to a building or other structure, or an otherwise designated area or space. 18thly, utilization equipment is equipment that utilizes electric energy for electronic, electromechanical, chemical, heating, lighting, or similar purposes. Code adherence and interpretation often involves, firstly, understanding and applying definitions. Secondly, following the specific rules and regulations. Thirdly, interpreting the code's intent. Fourthly, consulting with experienced professionals when needed. Always prioritize safety and consult with qualified electricians or electrical inspectors for clarification or assistance when interpreting the National Electrical Code. Always refer to the latest edition of the National Electrical Code for the most up-to-date regulations and guidelines. Specific sections of the National Electrical Code address the installation of electrical equipment in various locations, including bathrooms. These sections aim to mitigate electrical hazards in areas prone to moisture and limited space. The absence of a specific prohibition for building main disconnects in bathrooms may be an oversight. However, the underlying intent of the code suggests that similar safety precautions should apply to these disconnects as well. The location of electrical equipment, including disconnects, is a crucial aspect of electrical safety. Bathrooms pose unique challenges due to the presence of water, humidity, and confined spaces. Understanding the code's intent is essential for making informed decisions about electrical installations, even when specific regulations may be lacking. When facing ambiguity or uncertainty in code interpretation, seeking guidance from experienced professionals is always advisable. A qualified electrician or electrical inspector can provide valuable insights and ensure compliance with the code's underlying principles. The NEC, or National Electrical Code, is a comprehensive set of standards and guidelines for electrical installations in the United States. It is developed and updated by the National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA, and serves as a benchmark for safe electrical practices. The NEC covers a wide range of topics, including wiring methods, overcurrent protection, grounding, and equipment installation. It is regularly revised to incorporate new technologies, address emerging safety concerns, and clarify existing requirements. Electrical inspectors use the NEC as a reference during inspections to ensure that electrical installations meet minimum safety standards. Compliance with the NEC is essential for protecting people and property from electrical hazards. Understanding the NEC requires careful study and attention to detail, as well as practical experience in electrical work. It is important for electricians, contractors, and other professionals in the electrical industry to stay up to date with the latest edition of the NEC and any local amendments or interpretations. The NEC is not a law itself, but it is often adopted by state and local governments as part of their building codes. In these jurisdictions, compliance with the NEC is legally required. The NEC provides specific requirements for the installation of electrical equipment in various locations, including bathrooms. These requirements are designed to minimize the risk of electric shock and other electrical hazards in these areas. The NEC also addresses the selection and installation of disconnecting means for electrical circuits and equipment. Disconnecting means are devices that are used to isolate electrical circuits from their power source for maintenance or safety purposes. The NEC specifies the types of disconnecting means that are permitted for different applications and provides requirements for their location and accessibility. In the case of service disconnects and building main disconnects, the NEC generally requires that they be readily accessible and located in a safe and convenient location. The NEC also prohibits the installation of service disconnects in bathrooms, as mentioned earlier. The absence of a similar prohibition for building main disconnects in bathrooms may be an oversight. However, the underlying intent of the NEC is to ensure electrical safety, and it is reasonable to interpret this intent as discouraging the installation of both service disconnects and building main disconnects in bathrooms. The NEC is a complex and comprehensive document, and it is not always easy to interpret its requirements. When in doubt, it is always best to consult with a qualified electrician or electrical inspector for clarification or assistance. The NEC is an essential resource for anyone involved in electrical work, and it plays a vital role in ensuring the safety of electrical installations. Understanding the NEC is crucial for preventing electrical hazards and protecting people and property from harm. The NEC is a constantly evolving document, and it is important to stay up to date with the latest changes and revisions. The NEC is an indispensable tool for electrical professionals and a cornerstone of electrical safety. The National Electrical Code outlines requirements for electrical installations to ensure safety. It is periodically updated to address new technologies and safety concerns. Local jurisdictions often adopt the NEC as part of their building codes, making compliance legally mandatory. Electricians, contractors, and inspectors rely on the NEC to ensure electrical systems meet safety standards. The NEC covers various aspects of electrical work, including wiring methods, overcurrent protection, and grounding. It provides guidelines for selecting and installing disconnecting means, which are crucial for isolating circuits. The NEC emphasizes the importance of readily accessible and safe locations for disconnecting means. While it prohibits service disconnects in bathrooms, the absence of a similar rule for building main disconnects raises questions. Interpreting the NEC can be challenging, and consulting with qualified professionals is recommended when in doubt. The code's intent is to prevent electrical hazards and protect people and property from harm. Staying informed about the latest NEC revisions is essential for electrical professionals. The NEC is a valuable resource and a cornerstone of electrical safety, promoting safe and reliable electrical installations. Electrical safety is paramount in all aspects of electrical work. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, serves as the primary standard for electrical installations in the United States. It is developed and updated by the National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA. The NEC is not a law itself, but it is widely adopted by state and local jurisdictions as part of their building codes. Compliance with the NEC is essential for ensuring the safety of electrical systems and preventing electrical hazards. The NEC covers a broad range of topics, including wiring methods, overcurrent protection, grounding, and equipment installation. It provides specific requirements for the installation of electrical equipment in various locations, including bathrooms. The NEC also addresses the selection and installation of disconnecting means, which are used to isolate electrical circuits from their power source. Disconnecting means are essential for performing maintenance and repairs safely. The NEC requires that disconnecting means be readily accessible and located in a safe and convenient location. In the case of service disconnects, the NEC prohibits their installation in bathrooms due to the increased risk of electrical shock in these areas. However, the NEC does not explicitly prohibit the installation of building main disconnects in bathrooms. This apparent oversight has led to questions about the code's intent and whether building main disconnects should be subject to the same restrictions as service disconnects. The NEC is a complex and comprehensive document, and its interpretation can be challenging. It is important to consult with qualified electricians and electrical inspectors for guidance on specific applications of the code. The NEC is constantly evolving to address new technologies and emerging safety concerns. It is essential for electrical professionals to stay up to date with the latest changes and revisions to the code. The NEC is a vital resource for ensuring electrical safety and protecting people and property from electrical hazards. The NEC provides detailed requirements for electrical installations covering a wide range of topics. Wiring methods are addressed extensively, specifying the types of wiring allowed in different locations and applications. Overcurrent protection is crucial for preventing damage to electrical systems and equipment. Grounding is essential for providing a safe path for fault currents and minimizing the risk of electric shock. Equipment installation requirements ensure that electrical equipment is installed properly and safely. The NEC includes specific requirements for bathrooms, addressing the unique hazards associated with these areas. Disconnecting means are vital for isolating electrical circuits for maintenance and repairs. The NEC specifies the types of disconnecting means that are suitable for different applications. Accessibility and location requirements for disconnecting means ensure that they can be easily reached in case of an emergency. The NEC prohibition of service disconnects in bathrooms reflects the increased risk of electrical shock in these areas. The absence of a similar prohibition for building main disconnects raises questions about the code's consistency. Consulting with qualified professionals is essential for interpreting the NEC accurately and applying it correctly. Staying up to date with the latest changes and revisions to the NEC is crucial for electrical professionals. The NEC is a cornerstone of electrical safety, protecting people and property from electrical hazards. Understanding and applying the NEC effectively requires ongoing education and training. The NEC's complex and comprehensive nature necessitates careful study and attention to detail. The NEC is an indispensable resource for anyone involved in electrical work, promoting safe and reliable electrical installations. The NEC provisions for electrical safety are constantly evolving to meet the challenges of new technologies and changing environments. The National Electrical Code is a living document that reflects the ongoing commitment to electrical safety.